Hey, what's up guys, this is Liam or Weagle on Your Overwatch, back with a new video. Today we are back with the Pro Tips series because you guys enjoyed the first one so much, and we're back today talking about Junkrat because you guys requested him so much. Be sure to let us know in the comments who you would like to see us cover next time. Same as before, we'll be going through tips that the best players use using some examples that we have recreated and some examples that pros have used themselves. The first thing to cover is Junkrat's ultimate. Debatably one of the best ultimates in the game right now, this tire can devastate an entire enemy team, whether it's comboed with the graviton or whether it's just sent over some building somewhere to land on people's heads. But what a lot of people don't actually realise is how to make the tire make less sound so that it is easier for you to be able to land your tire on an unexpected enemy. When it's running around on the floor, it's extremely loud. But if you make it stationary by jamming it up against a wall or running it up a wall, it makes considerably less noise. Well, if you actually run it up a wall and do some crazy tire parkour, which I'm sure you've seen before, when the tire's actually in the air, it makes no noise whatsoever. So if you can get it up a wall, people will already be guessing where this is because they will barely be able to hear it. If you send it flying through the sky at an enemy, it's going to kill them without them having any idea where it came from. Also, what a lot of the pros do is they have really crazy movement on the tire itself, making it really difficult to kill. The speed boost that this tire got in one of the more recent patches made it an absolutely devastating ultimate, and these tips should help you get a lot more kills with it. This next tip is all about close range, a place where Junkrat used to be really weak, but once he got buffed in the way that he can no longer take damage from his own abilities, and also the fact that he now has 2 mines, close range Junkrat has become really hard to deal with. One really cool thing you can do with Junkrat now is barrel stuffing. Being really close to an enemy is basically impossible to miss them, and you can just left click people in the face for days. All this requires is a little bit of tracking skill in order to get close. You can also of course combo this with a mine so that you almost insta-kill somebody with ease. But one of the best close range Junkrat tips I can give you is actually versus Genji himself, who's a very popular pick. You can throw Junkrat's mine either above or to the side of Genji's deflect in order to still kill him. In fact, online with how latency works, you can actually just throw it directly at him and detonate it if you time it right. This is something you would notice if you play Genji a lot, is that a lot of Junkrats are just blowing you up when you're deflecting anyway, and this is the reason why. Even though the hitbox is huge, the way that Junkrat's mine works, it's actually quite easy to really wreck Genji, which is interesting because 6 months ago or so, the fight would definitely be in Genji's favour, but now a Junkrat can really scare a Genji quite easily. I think Junkrat's trap is something that's overlooked quite a lot, and this is the third tip I want to talk to you guys about. Of course, you can cheese strat it and stick it at someone's spawn and get 2 kills early in the match. We've all seen that before. However, what a lot of the best players do is they will always keep it on a horrible off angle so that a flanker will run into it. This is what you would expect. This is where you would expect a trap to be. But what some of the better Junkrats do is they actually play around their trap. Not only is Junkrat a massive threat at close range now, but if the trap is also another threat and someone runs into it, it doesn't even matter if they kill you, because when you die, your grenades will drop and kill the person in the trap. There's also, of course, the entire mid-fight before that, where they're having to worry about where your trap is, and also not getting barrel stuff like I mentioned in the second tip. The fourth tip actually is taking a misconception and completely disagreeing with it, and that's the fact that Junkrat can only spam at long distance. What a lot of the best players actually do is they will practice laning projectiles and getting them into areas specifically to create massive problems for the enemy team. Whether it be a window on the other side of the map that leads to some kind of choke point, or whether it's firing into a choke point itself from a big distance. This is something that I definitely recommend that you try and practice in either deathmatch or quick play, and make sure that you can land your specific projectiles exactly where you want them at a long distance. Spamming into a choke like first on Dorado, that's really good and all, but being able to actually land them exactly where you want to get the area denial damage where you want it is actually a skill that I think a lot of players really overlook when playing Junkrat. He's not just a spam hero, and landing them where you want them creates a lot of problems for the enemy team. The last thing to talk about is Junkrat's mine, and there's actually a few parts to this. The first one is rolling off your abilities, which I kind of already mentioned. If you're barrel stuffing an enemy, you can shoot them in the face with your normal fire and finish them off with your mine for an instant kill. It's incredibly effective and something that I recommend you to be trying to do all the time. Also, the mine for Junkrat, no matter how good you get at the rest of his kit, is more reliable than primary fire. You'll always be able to throw it and detonate it for that quick 120 damage depending on how close it is, and it's always going to be a lot more reliable than the rest of his kit. One thing I don't see a lot of people doing though is what the pros do, and that is being able to actually throw the projectile a really long distance for that reliable damage. Whether you're on the high ground or you see someone's weak, it's always difficult to actually hit someone with primary fire, but it's always a lot more easy to hit them with your mine. The projectile is just easier to throw, to be honest, and you can also detonate it exactly when you want. It doesn't have to directly hit them. Again, I recommend either practicing this in deathmatch or quick play, or even setting up some kind of custom game where you get unlimited mines and you can just try throwing them from all kinds of different distances. The same way primary fire works, the higher you aim it, the further it's going to go, but learning them distances is what matters. The mine is very versatile. It can be used for that 1-2 combo, it can be used to throw at people at distance, and also remember to use it to get yourself around the map to locations that people are not going to expect you. So guys, that's just about everything for today's video. Another quick fire pro Junkrat tip video. I'd like you guys to let us know in the comments who you'd like us to cover next time, and be sure to drop a like, as it does really help us out and lets us know that you're enjoying this content. Be sure to hit that bell icon guys so you get notified when our videos go live, and have a great day as always. Take care and peace people.